Don't make this mistake when checking your free testosterone level. When you get tested, try not to use something called a direct method for your test. This test isn't always very accurate, partly due to the fact that it depends on the concentrations of total testosterone and SHBG, but also because it could be falsely elevated. Instead, use a better test called equilibrium dialysis, which is the most accurate and considered the gold standard for free testosterone measurement. In theory, equilibrium ultrafiltration should also be just as accurate, but that's a whole nother story. But if you can't get the gold standard or you've already used a direct method, then you can multiply the value you got by 6.7 to get a better idea of your true free testosterone levels. This is assuming the direct method you use was IRA. Just double checked, and LabCorp says they use EIA method instead of RIA, but then all their references are talking about RIA, so I'm not sure what's going on. Anyways, you do this because the direct test usually only gives you a fraction of the real number. And you can confirm this if you look at your lab's reference range, and it's somewhere in the 20 picograms per milliliter as opposed to the 100. If you use the gold standard for total, which is LCMS, and you check your SHBG levels, then you can still calculate your free testosterone levels, which is the second best option next to equilibrium dialysis. Using these labs as an example, we see that its converted free testosterone is 101.2 picograms per milliliter or 10.12 nanograms per deciliter. And its calculated free testosterone is 13.7, but taking into account that calculated free testosterone often overestimates by around 2 nanograms per deciliter, this gives us 11.7 nanograms per deciliter. However, the binding affinity of SHBG at extremely high and low concentrations is different, so if we use a formula that takes this into account, we get a value of around 13.54 nanograms per deciliter. So it seems his free test levels are somewhere between 10.12 to 13.54 nanograms per deciliter, likely closer to that upper range. All of this could have been avoided simply by using the gold standard initially.